Hello, everyone. This is the last live stream that I think I'll do. I'm not sure what the quality is going to be like. As I said in my message, I'm doing this now on mobile phone data. So we'll see how this works. If it works really well, then we'll continue. Um, we're going to give it a shot from chapter 46. We're pretty much almost at the end of the story now, so I'm really excited to see how it ends. And yeah, let's have a look. Let's see if it wraps up nicely. I think we'll get to the end. I might get to the end today, depending on how the quality is. Let me know. Let me know if you can hear me. Okay. Let me know if it's all coming through. Hi, Archie. How are you? I hope your new school is okay. I know you probably haven't been in school for a while because of what's happening, but yeah. Can you all hear me okay? Let me know. Farrell, you can hear me. Excellent. Okay. Okay. Let's start reading then. Chapter 46. Let me share the link before we start. Good. Right. Okay. I think that's done. Oh, you've got a treat today. Mrs. Hughes is going to do the maths. So, yeah, I'm going to have a little break from the maths. I'm going to relax. And Mrs. Hughes is going to do my maths work alongside Mrs. Hughes' video. I'm sure a few more people will join us later. It is early. So I think we'll get started. Okay. So in the last chapter, Mr. Sir, Mr. Pendanski, and the warden caught the boys, and there were lizards all over them. The hole that they were digging was a lizard nest, or it become a lizard nest, and they're over the boys. They are not biting them. They're not attacking them, and we don't know why. But the warden is she's being patient. She's like, it won't be long now. And she thinks that very soon she'll be able to get her treasure. So let's have a look and see if we can find out what happens. 500 seconds later, his heart was still beating. Mr. Pendanski screamed. The lizard, which had been in the cereal box, was springing towards him. Mr. Sir shot it in midair. Stanley felt the blast shatter the air around him. The lizard scurried frantically across his very still body. He did not flinch. A lizard ran across his closed mouth. He glanced at Zero, and Zero's eyes met his. Somehow, they were both still alive, at least for one more second, one more heartbeat. Mr. lit a cigarette. I thought you quit, said one of the other counselors. Yeah, well, sometimes sunflower seeds just don't cut it. He took a long drag on his cigarette. I'm going to have nightmares for the rest of my life. Maybe we should just shoot them, suggested Mr. Pendanski. Who? Asked the counselor. The lizards or the kids? Mr. Pendanski laughed grimly. The kids are going to die anyway. He laughed again. At least we got plenty of graves to choose from. We got time, said the warden. I've waited this long. I can wait another few. Her voice trailed off. Stanley felt a lizard crawl in and out of his pocket. Listen, we're going to keep this story simple, said the warden. That woman's going to ask a lot of questions. The AG will most likely initiate an investigation. So this is what happened. Stanley tried to run away in the night, fell in a hole, and the lizards got him. That's it. We're not even going to give him Zero's body. As far as anyone knows, Zero doesn't exist. Like Mom said, we got plenty of graves to choose from. Why would he run away if he knew he was going to get released today? Asked Mr. Pendanski. Who knows? He's crazy. And that's why we couldn't release him yesterday. He was delirious. We had to keep watch over him so he wouldn't hurt himself or anyone else. She's not going to like it, said Mr. Pendanski. She's not going to like anything we tell her, said the warden. She stared at Zero in the suitcase. Why aren't you dead yet? She asked. Stanley only half listened to the talk of the councillors. He didn't know who that woman was or what AG meant. He didn't even realize that they were initials. It just sounded like one word, AG. His mind was focused on the tiny claws that moved up and down his skin and through his hair. Hi, Mrs. Hughes. I'm glad you're here. Is it coming through okay? I hope it's coming through okay. Is the picture okay? Is the audio okay? That's all I need to know. Because on my screen, it looks okay. But obviously, I'm just seeing if someone lets me know. I think Farrell said it was okay. She said she could hear me. His mind was focused on the tiny claws that moved up and down his skin and through his hair. He tried to think about other things. He didn't want to die with the images of the warden, Mr. Sir, and the lizards etched into his brain. Instead, he tried to see his mother's face. His brain took him back to a time when he was very little, all bundled up in a snowsuit. He and his mother were walking hand in hand, mitten in mitten, when they both slipped on some ice and fell and rolled down a snow-covered hillside. They ended up at the bottom of the hill. He remembered he almost cried, but instead he laughed. His mother had laughed too. He could feel the same light-headed feeling he felt then, dizzy from rolling down the hill. He felt the sharp coldness of the snow against his ear. He could see the flecks of snow on his mother's bright and cheery face. This was where he wanted to be when he died. Hey, caveman, guess what? said Mr. Sir. You're innocent. After all, I thought you'd like to know that. Your lawyer came to get you yesterday. Too bad you weren't here. The words meant nothing to Stanley, who was still in the snow. He and his mother climbed back up the hill and rolled down again, this time on purpose. Later, they had hot chocolate with lots of melted marshmallows. Interesting part there, the way that's written. I wonder if anyone can kind of work out what the author's done. So previously, they'd used had, which was the past perfect, to go back in time even more when Stanley was remembering his mother. However, what's happened now, if I read that again, the words meant nothing to Stanley, who was still in the snow. He and his mother climbed back up the hill and rolled down again, this time on purpose. Later, they had hot chocolate with lots of melted marshmallows. So that paragraph is interesting. They haven't used the past perfect to tell us what Stanley's remembering. They've just put it in as normal past tense, which is quite clever because it's what Stanley's remembering. It's what he's imagining to distract himself from the situation. But it's not in the past perfect. So it's very clever. The author is making sure that the reader knows exactly what's going on. So you have to be really clever when you're reading it. It's getting close to 4:30, said Mr. Pendanski. They'll all be waking up soon. The warden told the councillors to return to the tents. She told them to give the campers breakfast and to make sure they didn't talk to anyone. As long as they did, They were told they wouldn't have to dig any more holes. If they talked, they would be severely punished. How should we say they will be punished? One of the councillors asked. We'll let them use their imaginations, said the warden. Stanley watched the councillors return to the tents, leaving only the warden and Mr. Sir behind. He knew the warden didn't care whether the campers dug any more holes or not. She had found what she was looking for. He glanced at Zero. A lizard was perched on his shoulder. Zero remained perfectly still, except for his right hand, which slowly formed into a fist. Then he raised his thumb slowly, giving Stanley the thumbs up sign. Stanley thought back to what Mr. Sir had said to him earlier and the bits of conversation he'd overheard. He tried to make sense out of it. Mr. Sir had said something about a lawyer, but Stanley knew his parents couldn't afford a lawyer. His legs were sore from remaining rigid for so long. Standing still was more strenuous than walking. He slowly allowed himself to lean against the side of the hole. The lizards didn't seem to mind. I'm going to go on to chapter 47, and yeah, I'll do chapter 47, and I'll leave the last couple of chapters then for the session tomorrow. Quiz is just chapter 46 today. Oh, do you know what then? I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop there. I'll save 47 for tomorrow. I'll do 47 and 48 tomorrow, and then 49 and 50 on Thursday. And then Friday, we'll have something different, I think. We'll do, I'll read something different. And then we'll start a new one the week after. Oh, no, it's going to be Easter half time. So there's not going to be any work going out. I don't think. Anyway, we'll check. Okay, wonderful. Anyway, I hope that was okay. I will see you again tomorrow for our daily read. Big thank you to Mrs. Hughes for doing the maths today. I can't wait. And for uploading the quiz for the daily read. So thank you so much. Really, really great. And we're all really enjoying doing the quizzes. And I hope everyone's having a good time. We'll see you all tomorrow. And yeah, have a great day. I think I'm going to go play some guitar now. Maybe I'll play some guitar for you one day. That could be something I could do, couldn't I? That could be a nice little treat. I'll play a couple of songs maybe and have a little play and be a nice little, maybe a Friday treat. How about that? Good morning, Ollie. I'm just about to say goodbye. So what you might have to do is rewind the video to the beginning, and we'll go from there. Adios. Hasta luego.